Hello, one and all, and welcome to Dark Vault Gaming. I'm your host, Joe Dark, and today we have a special video giving you a quick review of the upcoming additions coming to Fallout 76 in the very near future. That being the mutation events that will randomly kick off every hour on the hour across the map, as well as a new daily op enemy, the aliens. We will also have new daily op locations as well, in that of the Charleston Capitol Building, Garahan Mining Headquarters, and Morgantown High School. Some great additions to the game to keep daily events fresh, making the game more enjoyable for sure. First, let me say that adding the aliens as enemies in daily ops was brilliant. With having to battle a powerful Flatwoods monster at the end, it makes the daily op much more exciting. I gotta admit, it was a blast battling the aliens in Arctos Pharma, and that Flatwoods monster boss at the end is one tough cookie. Now, there is also a new and rather powerful enemy mutation coming into the game to be one of the mutations on the daily op enemies, as well as the random daily mutated events. This mutation is called the reflective skin mutation. Enemies with this mutation will make them periodically enter a reflective state that reflects back some of the damage done to them. I ran a daily op in the PTS, and if it wasn't for the help of our friend Angry Turtle, I wouldn't have been able to complete it. No way. This one is another tough one. Along with the deadly armor piercing, maybe throw in invisibility, even melee only attacks, kill them. These events will be off the charts tough. I don't even want to think about double mutation weekend. That's why in this video I have a list of the top 4 things from each category that you can do to help you get through these mutated events a lot easier without kicking the proverbial bucket. Okay, first let's cover the top 4 perk cards that, in my opinion, you should consider equipping if you don't have them equipped already. Keep in mind, probably level 50 or above will be required for these perk cards. One, or right off the bat, is Ricochet. The Ricochet perk maxed out gives the player an 18% chance to deflect enemy ranged weapons. Now, it triggers more often than you think and could be critical in tough situations. Number 2 is Dodgy. Dodgy maxed out allows a player to avoid 30% of incoming damage at a cost of 30 action points, which is not a problem anymore. We have free popcorn and coffee at our camps to pump up AP now, so it's not a problem. Don't worry about your AP. The third perk card to consider equipping is Life Giver, maxed out, which gives you plus 45 HP to your max health. Now, the more HP, the longer you should survive. It's common sense. The fourth most important perk card to consider equipping, in my opinion, is Adamantium Skeleton, which completely eliminates a player's limb damage. This should help immensely. Now, there are also other perk cards that will help you with certain builds, such as Nerd Rage, which will give you a plus 40 damage resistance, but only if you're under 20% health, primarily for bloody builds like Serendipity and Luck, which gives you damage evasion when you're low health. Another great card, but primarily for bloody builds. Now, Barbarian in Strength and Evasive and Agility gives you damage resistance, but only when not in power armor. And Bullet Shield and Strength, maxed out, will help all of you heavy gunner by giving you damage resistance, but only if you use a heavy gun. So, now, real quick, let's take a look at foods that will give you damage resistance. I'll give you my top 4 first. Scorched Beast Steak gives you plus 15 damage resistance. That's followed by Sunshine Oil, Silk Bean Puree, and Mylark Jerky, all giving you plus 15 damage resistance. There are others that will give you a little less, like Cranberry Jam and Pothole Pie, that give you plus 10 damage resistance, and a unique one This is one of my favorites. Fried fog crawler. All you need is fog crawler meat and wood, and it will increase your damage resistance over time when it's raining or foggy. Check that out. In the game, of course, not at your house. Now here's a list of food that will give you energy resistance, just in case you'll be encountering enemies that deal energy damage, like robots or aliens. With the top two being Fire Cap Tasty Souffle and Glowing Fungus Puree, both giving you plus 35 energy resistance, along with a few others that will give you 25% energy resistance. And finally, my top 4 chems to use in these events. 1, right off the bat, Med-X. It will give you a plus 25 damage resistance. Number 2, Psycho will also give you plus 25 damage resistance. 3, Fury gives you plus 25% damage resistance and 30% melee damage increase for all you melee builds. Now the last one on my list is a unique one, and that is Insect Repellent. Yeah, insect repellent. These are the encounters that you get with all kinds of bugs. The flying bugs, the crawling bugs, even crickets. This will reduce your damage from insects by 15% for a whole 30 minutes. Not too bad for facing those type of enemies. Now remember, chems do not stack. Food with the same buffs do not stack, but a chem will stack with a food. So keep that in mind. These tips should be helpful for you to stay alive during these mutated events coming. And let me tell you, they're a whole lot of fun. Oh, I had a blast, man. Oh, and one last thing to consider is maxing out your fireproof perk. Okay, your fireproof perk is an endurance. Max that out. Max your sizzling style legendary perk card if you can. Bring it up to as much as you can. 3 is fine if you can do that. That's your legendary perk card. And apply the dense mod to your torso armor. That will eliminate explosive damage. So you'll need that, trust me. And if enemies release poison on death, take off that sizzling style card and put on your funky duds card in your legendary cards. Now, before we go, I'd like to remind everybody to check out our dedicated Fallout 76 website, joedark76.com. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just a handy tool to help you in the game, and it's totally free. I'll leave a link in the description below. It includes an interactive resource map showing the locations of all available resources in the wasteland to place a resource extractor. It also includes a weapon and armor pricing guide to have the most competitive prices for your vending machine. It includes the nuclear launch codes updated weekly, as well as an interactive perk loadout build planner to plan out your perk loads. Also included is a link to the latest Inside the Vaults from Bethesda. The website again is joedark76.com. That's joedark76.com. Keep it handy and use it often to help you survive in Appalachia. It will come in handy, trust me. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you hit that bell, you'll get notified of all new upcoming content. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Everybody have a great day. Excelsior. Take care.